Welcome to another edition of Talk City Greensboro, produced by GTN, featuring interviews and events happening around town. It's an easy way to stay in the know while you're on the go. Subscribe to Talk City on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or SoundCloud so you can keep up with what's going on in Greensboro City government. I'm your host, Josh Johnson, and we're super lucky to have another episode with our awesome guest co-host, Michelle Gill Moffitt. So glad you were here for another show, MGM.
Well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
Today we have the awesome Nasha Mccray, who's been at the helm of Greensboro Parks and Recreation since January of 2018. Nasha has been instrumental in several key City of Greensboro initiatives, such as the development of the Parks and Recreation's award-winning Plan2Play Master Plan, Battleground Parks District, Windsor-Chavis-Nocho Community Complex, LeBauer Park, multi-million-dollar parks and recreation bond packages, along with innovative and transformational recreation and community services programming and projects. Welcome back to the show, Nasha.
Is that all, Michelle?
I know, and I got it all out.
Full disclosure here, I took that straight from the city's website. So it's not a complete list, it's just a published list.
Et cetera, et cetera.
And so on and so forth.
Nasha, thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
So you're in a new position now.
I am.
Yeah.
So as of July 1st, I've been promoted to assistant city manager, which is exciting.
City manager. Okay. Well, what are some of the first things you want to take on in your new position as assistant city manager?
Well, obviously, with it being such a big role, there's going to be a lot of learning involved. So I'm very, very familiar with the departments that I will be responsible overseeing, which is community services. So that's a very special place in my heart. So that includes Parks and Rec, that includes libraries and the History Museum. It includes workforce development, housing and neighborhood development, Creative Greensboro, and human rights. All of these are departments that do a phenomenal job serving our community. And so for me, I don't want to go into this role thinking that I know every single thing about what they do, even though I've been blessed to collaborate with them on a lot of different projects and programs, and our teams work really well together. So that one of the first things is just really sitting down and just diving into the details about what they do, learning how I can best, either lead or represent and support them in continuing their efforts. And then also with council priorities and our city manager's priorities, making sure we're in alignment to be the best community services team that we can be.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
So what experiences as Director of Parks and Recreation will translate the most for you in your new role?
You just named the list.
Everything that you just said.
Everything you
Let me
just
go back
said.
and read that section again.
You know what? I think, for me, the experience, I've always, said that Parks and Recreation is the best department, right, in the city. We do so many things, so many impacts, that we make in our community and even across the state and nationally, right? Mm-hmm. But for me, I think my experience as director in leading such a dynamic and phenomenal team is that collaborative spirit. Mm-hmm. A lot of the things that we do, like I just mentioned before, it requires teamwork and it requires partnership. And so I think that will probably translate most, being able to be a connector, for the various departments that I oversee, but then also, making sure that we're connecting with the community in the way that's most impactful, whether it is, quality of life or access to services or, economic impact, all those different things. Right. And so I think that will be probably the most for me is just working in tandem, just to be that connector, for the different departments.
Wonderful. Yeah. So what will you miss most about being director of Parks and Rec?
I'm telling you, Parks and Rec, yes.
She waited for that.
But honestly, to Michelle's point, including her, it's our team. In all seriousness, I mean, my entire career with the City of Greensboro has been with Parks and Recreation. You know, it's been going on 13 years, wow. Which is actually the bulk of my career in local government. And so Parks and Rec is always going to have a special place in my heart because I've seen, the wonderful things that we've been able to do in the last 15 years for Greensboro, programmatically, just from a project standpoint, the different initiatives that we've been involved with. Yeah. There's hardly anything that I can think of like that the city has moved forward where Parks and Rec has not been a part of the table, whether it's obvious or it's not obvious, right? Yeah. And so I think our team, it's just been really amazing to work with. And so not being able to work with them day in and day out, that's probably going to be something that I miss. But I'm not going too far.
No,
right?
I didn't think you would be.
I'm not going too far, too far away. Like I said, being able to still continue to oversee, the department as part of my community services portfolio. Right. I think what's going to be exciting is when we do get someone to fill the role of director, being able to pass that baton, and they can kind of take the department even further with the team that we have. I think we have great opportunities on the horizon. We talked about Plan2Play and what we've been able to accomplish just in 3 years since it's been adopted, which is it's
pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then, being gold medal award winning, right. We, completed our accreditation process, which is a big accomplishment, thinking about the pandemic and what we've been having to, kind of hold on our plate and being able to still push forward. Yeah. So all of those things, I think, just thinking about where we've gone in the last couple of years, it just still gets me excited about where we're going in the future. And so I'm really, really excited to see what's next and just kind of being there to support who that next leader is, in moving the department forward.
Yeah, you guys made like the ultimate pivot during the pandemic. I mean, it was amazing what you rolled out just to keep programming going and to keep people engaged. It was impressive.
And you know what? And it was, kind of for us, it was, new territory to the degree that we had already been talking about how do we start to offer more virtual programming anyway. And so this was like push we needed, right? That we didn't plan for. Of course. And I feel like we did a pretty good job. And not just with us, the public libraries and the History Museum and Creative Greensboro, we all partnered to create that GSO online platform, which we still provide today, where anyone, no matter where you are, you can go online and, recreate with us. You can, be creative with us. You can learn with us. And so that was exciting, to see us move that forward, but also to keep that momentum because a lot of people still utilize that. I mean, we were able to engage with people outside of Greensboro, right. I mean, just across the country. And to be a leader in doing that, I got a lot of feedback from other agencies, that reached out to us, like, how do you do that? So I'm really excited to see us continue to move forward and continue to do those kind of innovative pivots, looking at some of the trends, but being the trendsetter as well. I know we just completed adult recess, which was amazing. We had a record-breaking attendance. I was a little worried because we had some bad weather that rolled through right before. But that did not stop people from coming out. We had almost 900 people, I think it was, that attended.
Nice.
Yeah, so that to me, that signals people were ready to get outside. They were ready to have fun, get back to, interacting and recreating in a way that they really enjoy. So we were happy about that. And that's just one of the many things that we even just did this month, because I don't know if most of our listeners out there, they know that July is National Parks and Recreation Month. Yep. So there's lots of things, even though the month is about halfway over, lots of ways you can still come out and play with us and learn about what we have to offer. So, check us out on our website, gsoparksandrec.com, .org, .gov, everything, to find us and find out what we're up to, because we're always up to something. Yeah.
All right, we're going to close it out. It's clear to our listeners how passionate you are about parks and recreation and keeping our residents active and happy and healthy. What would you like to see next with Greensboro Parks and Recreation?
So I kind of talked about, getting a new leader on board. We have a lot of neat things that we're doing internally just to make sure like we are kind of structured in a way and have a really good foundation to take things forward for the next 10, 20 years. So there's some in-house things that we're working on that I'm really excited about, because we have some really, really phenomenal subject matter experts that will help us to make sure that we're ready for what's to come, right? I think externally, I'm really excited about potential partnership opportunities. And, we have an election that's coming up, or that's currently underway. And we are also one of 5 bond referendums that are on the overall bond package, which is $135 million. The Parks and Rec and Community Services bond specifically is $70 million of that, which is the largest that we've had, in the number of bonds that we have, put out for our voters to make a decision on. So excited to see what the results will be of that. And then going forward, we're still pushing forward with Plan2Play. We're kind of in like year 4, almost year 5 of that. And so this is kind of big picture things where we're starting to put some momentum behind some larger projects. You've seen we just opened Battleground Parks District, the first phase, which was really, really exciting. We have some recreation center improvement projects that we have that are coming on board. Of course, participatory budgeting is another thing where we can hear directly from the community of things that we can do from a recreation standpoint to make improvements. So a lot of those things will be rolling forward. So I'm excited about that. But then also just from a programmatic standpoint, we have a dynamic youth services section that is also doing a lot of really cool things at Experience at Call Clue. And so moving that forward, moving the needle forward on like our environmental education, reconnecting with our teen population, which is really, really important.
Absolutely.
And then, just really just continuing to promote what we have and making sure that we're meeting our community where they are in the best way that they can, want to know of what we have to offer. So I'm just giddy about everything. I mean, I could talk all day. I know we only have a limited amount of time, but I think, again, Parks and Rec, we've done a really fantastic job of continuously reinventing ourselves. So I'm just here and happy to support the department going forward as the assistant city manager in what they come up with next. So
wonderful. Well, I know you're going to be fabulous as an assistant city manager.
Thank you.
2 questions that are completely out of left field. One, have you been down the zip line?
I have.
Yeah. Is it awesome?
It is absolutely awesome.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And this one's for Carlos. Have you finished Stranger Things?
I have not.
So you haven't seen season 4 yet?
No, I have not seen season 4, so please do not spoil it for me. Okay.
You're going to love it.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No.
Just, it's going to be great. Honestly, it's going to be great.
Well, we're excited to have you as our ACM.
Yes.
And supporting Parks and Rec. So
Thank
congratulations.
you.
Yeah, congratulations. And thanks for coming on the show. I know you're busy, so we appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned in weekly by subscribing to Talk City Greensboro on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. And don't forget you can download Talk City from SoundCloud.
All right, folks, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in to Talk City. Be sure to watch GTN, your official source for news and information from the City of Greensboro. GTN is available on Spectrum Channel 13,
AT&T UVerse Channel 99,
and North State Channel 31.
GTN also streams live on Roku and the city's website at greensboro-nc.gov. Thanks, MGM.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Bye,
guys.